We were on Colin's Conversations. I always let the guests introduce themselves, so let everybody know your name, a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what brought you here.
My name is Nelson Perron. I guess I'm a hip-hop artist. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm 24 years old. Forgot how old I was for a second. I make music. I touch my hand in the marketing side, and I'm part of Invasion Records. We're a hip-hop label based out of Cleveland, Ohio.
And always been Cleveland, Ohio? Did I read Strongsville where you grew up?
Yeah, North Royalton originally is where my mom stayed. My dad stayed on the west side of Cleveland. So then I went to high school in Strongsville, graduated from Strongsville High School, and then bounced around a bunch of different places, and then currently reside in Parma.
Gotcha. So a West
all over Northeast Ohio.
I was just over at Parma this afternoon. I hope you know about Express Deli.
No, I'm not familiar.
Over on 130th.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best subs you could ever have. Check them out.
Check it out.
They close a little bit early because they open really early, but I've never had a meal there where I wasn't like, I need another one.
What's it called?
Express Deli.
Express Deli.
Some of the best wraps you'll ever have. Being a West Sider, you made the journey all the way over to the East Side. Not many do. So to do that, we always like to give somebody the gift as soon as they get on the show. Go ahead and check that out.
Okay. Appreciate you. Shout out Colin's Conversations, man.
So that's a custom Colin's Conversations bottle opener. Won't rust, won't bust. That thing will last longer than you will. Throw a magnet on the back, do whatever you want, but you're ready to roll.
Nice. Appreciate you, man.
I'm going to borrow that real quick. And speaking of Express Deli, that's where I got this delicious glass bottle of Coke. But I never ever remember to bring my own bottle openers. So somebody that's traveling, say, for a weekend into Cleveland, where would you take them? Get something to eat, get a little bit of entertainment. East Side, West Side. Where's the best places to go in your opinion?
For food, somebody that's never been around here, I'd definitely probably take them to the Melt. I feel like it's a nice local spot. The big ass grilled cheese sandwiches, and they got like 20, 30 different kinds and grilled cheese you never even thought that you could make.
Right.
That you could put in a grilled cheese. There's a bunch of, you go downtown, go down to East 4th, check out all the bars if you're, into that scene. I don't know, it's kind of hard, difficult for me. I'm kind of a homebody, to be honest, so I don't really
totally
get out all too much, but there's definitely a lot. There's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that you can go check out if you're into that. You can go to an Indians game or a Browns game if you're a sports guy. There's definitely a lot to do in Cleveland that people discredit the city a lot, but it's actually a really beautiful city and a lot to do here. One
of the last interviews that we had down here was J-Work, and he said that you were part of the new movement of kind of uniting everybody on the music scene. What would you say is this current state of the Cleveland music scene?
It's nice, man. I think definitely we're starting to get past that stigma of just Cleveland doesn't support Cleveland, and that we're all kind of just starting to support each other and show equal love, and everybody just wants to see each other win, and we're all, establishing ourselves, have been making music now for years, doing it all together, so it's like we're all kind of realizing we're in the same boat, we're in the same position. Teamwork makes the dream work. Why not add the numbers and help everybody go up instead of being that guy in the corner that's hating on the next guy of, oh, why is he doing this or doing that, or blah, blah, why is this person not supporting me? Or, I don't know. I feel like if everybody would just kill the ego and just support the fact that we're all from Cleveland on the same goal,
right,
and we would all just get so much farther, so much quicker, and J-Work's one of those people that has that same like mind, and yeah.
Absolutely. You've been in Cleveland all the time. Has it been music all the time, or is music a more recent outlet? How long has your music career been going?
It's always been music. I've been into hip-hop since I was a little kid, and my uncle was a producer when I was younger, so when I was like 7, 8 years old, I was helping him build a booth in his bedroom.
Nice.
At the house I was staying at, and was sneaking into his bedroom and shit when he would go to work with a little pin in his door, and he'd come home, all of his levels would be all fucked up and everything. Who's touching my shit?
That's awesome.
So it was, since I was young, and I came from a young family. My mom was 17 when I was born, my dad was 15, so they were very into hip-hop. That was what I was raised on. Like, my mom was really into like Missy Elliott and Outkast and Eminem, Dr. Dre, all that. So that's kind of what I was raised on since I was a baby, what was being played in the car. So Then it started getting tied in. I learned how to play guitar, to read like tablatures and shit.
Okay.
So I started self-teaching myself how to play guitar, and was always into alternative music as well. Really all kinds of music. And guess it just transitioned into me writing more in high school, not wanting to take notes and shit in class, I guess.
Right,
and
banging on desks instead of listening.
Exactly. And I guess one day, I think it was 2016. I graduated in 2015.
Okay.
So in January 2016, I had dropped my first song on SoundCloud. And then from there, it was...
Ridicule that people get for being on SoundCloud, do you think it's worth it? Or why do people hate on SoundCloud?
I don't know, to be honest. That always made no sense to me, the hate that SoundCloud got, the SoundCloud rapper stigma. I think it was more so the era of like the rappers that were coming up on SoundCloud, and just like I don't know. It's beyond me.
I don't
Music's music, and it's a platform that you could release it on for free and like upload it right on the spot, and not have to like go through the distributors or anything like that. Because especially artists that are first starting out and that are young, a lot of them don't even know about that.
Right.
That you can go to websites like that and upload it and have it distributed to all platforms.
For
A
sure.
lot of artists, like younger artists, will hit me up and like, hey, how do I get my songs on Spotify, Apple Music, and like gotta let them know to go through like a DistroKid or a TuneCore, etc. Yeah.
So you kind of self-taught yourself everything then, because it sounds like you self-taught yourself both the marketing and how to make the music.
Yeah.
Would you say you've always been that way, or is it just you don't like the way other people teach, or what made you want to go? Because I'm the same way. Like I'd much rather spend twice as long to teach myself than sit through a lecture.
I think what it is I'm very spontaneous. So when I decide that I want to learn something, I don't want to wait.
Just jump right in.
Like when I wanted to learn guitar, my stepdad had guitars in the house, so I just went and grabbed it, went on YouTube and Google and how to read tablatures, etc.
Right.
I actually asked him, I said, what's the easiest way to learn it? He's the one that suggested the tabs, so.
Tablatures, that's kind of your just...
It shows you all 6 strings, like it'll have 6 lines, and it'll just have, in order from left to right, it'll have a number. So it'll be like the first line, it'll say 7, so it'll be the 7th fret on the first string. So then you would just teach yourself that and learn where to place your fingers, etc. And then I did that, transitioned to learning a couple different chords, to where once I did those 2 things, I could play full songs.
Sure. Have you learned how to like actually read music, or is it just kind of based on feel?
Yeah, not really. I can't read actual like sheet music. I used to be able to. I used to play trumpet in middle school. So when I was in middle school, I could. But it's been definitely like over 10 years since I've even attempted it, to be honest.
I think most people that I ask that question, with the exception of like 1 or 2 people, they're like, I just picked it up and just based off feel. I learned how to do it that way. You know, you could read things, but if you could just create it yourself, why not?
Yeah.
So trumpet, drums, vocals, and any other musical instruments hiding in there?
Not really. Mostly just the vocals, the guitar. There was a little bit of drums, the trumpet in middle school, recorder in like elementary school, but nothing that I really keep up to today, to be honest.
Everybody in school, why did we all, like, what type of programming was it? Like, everybody has to play
like in the 4th grade, it was just a must that all 4th graders play the recorder.
This is a life skill. You don't need to know how to do taxes. You don't need to know how to balance a checkbook. But if you don't know how to play the goddamn recorder, you're never going to be anything in life, you know?
Facts. I cross buns.
And we all play the same song. There had to be some sort of... I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but there's got to be a reason we all know hot cross buns.
Yeah, there's some, like...
That's just the best marketing
deeper,
ever.
darker
like,
shit.
I'm not going to sell anything.
That.
Just I'm going to go straight to every school district. And like, everybody's going to buy this stupid instrument and this thing of cheap music. Do you do production and beats and stuff digitally too, or?
No, not really. My homie Stoney and Adi, I know you're familiar with them. Check them out. Stoney in his bag and Adi Ray Creates on Instagram. They make some great beats. And our boy DJ Davs. We get a lot of our beats in house from Invasion, so I kind of just leave that up to them. And do more of the vocals of it.
Absolutely, put the people where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what's that like? Is it kind of just, they're making stuff and they have files just, and you go through them, or is it you're looking for a specific sound and you go to them? What's the typical song production process for you?
It's a couple different ways. They have BeatStars channels. Go check those out as well. So I'll go to Stoney's BeatStars page and just see the beats that he uploads, and if I like something, I'll tap in with him. If not, then we'll just be at the studio. We have weekly, we meet up there,
Nice.
and we just have meetings and sessions together as a group, and they'll just play some new beats that they have for us, and we'll all just kind of vibe out and pick one that we like and end up just recording to it for the night. And
Gotcha.
how it kind of goes through, like that song that we just filmed a video to in Colorado, Above the Ground. It was
Mhm.
actually one of the first, we call it Invasion Wednesday sessions. We meet every Wednesday. And Stoney had the beat, he pulled it up, we were all just in a good mood, went to the room, everybody started vibing out to the beat, we recorded to it, booked that whole trip, went out there, shot it, so it was just, everything was all organic and did it together as a team and stuff, so it was really cool to see that all come together. And, yeah.
Definitely, all those things are fun. On the fan side, to see people doing big things, like, oh, owner made them decide that's where they wanted to go, or what have you.
Mhm.
I believe you were one of the introductory members that connected Invasion and Doer Gang. Is that right?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about Doer Gang?
A lot. Yeah, I can go on for Doer Gang about hours. So here's how the Doer Gang thing started. I was making music, like I said, in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Doing shows at like the Agora and shit, open for like Montana 300 and like Chip the Rip, just doing shit by myself.
Right.
And I'm a fan of an artist named Kasky. And if you're familiar with who that is,
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people that'll be listening will know who I'm talking about. I went to a show in Toledo, and it was at Frankie's Diner in Toledo, part of his No Apologies tour.
Okay.
This was December 2016. I was in the meet and greet line with my buddy Luke. Shout out Luke. And mind you, it's December, so it's like 30 degrees, freezing. He's in a t-shirt, like this little like hoodie cut-off thing that like cuts off to a t-shirt but had a hood on it. So he's like, oh, I'll be good in this, but then 20 minutes in line, he's like, shit, like freezing. Like, oh, dude, come on, we gotta get on the bus. I'm like, bro, let's go to the back of the line. I was like, come on, because I've seen everybody getting off the tour, like on and off the tour bus with meet and greet, like clockwork, like every 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we rolled up like 6 joints and shit, like, trying to kick it with him and like actually like vibe out with him and shit. And so we go to the very back of the line, and sure enough, the people that were right in front of us was my buddy A-Bob, and Ruben, and AY, and all my Doer Gang homies.
Okay.
And just met them that night, found out that A-Bob had a song with Kasky that they had released on SoundCloud called Minute, go check that out. And we just connected through social media and vibed out at that show, and then kept in touch throughout all of 2017, just through Snapchat and Instagram and shit. And A-Bob ends up hitting me up top of 2018. He's like, yo, I have a house in Defiance, which is in Northwest Ohio, about an hour like southwest of Toledo.
Okay.
And so we move out to this house. He's like, you can come move out here. You don't got to pay any bills, no nothing. Just come out here. Let's make music. Let's make it happen.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, bet. Sounds like a good situation. I'm like, all right, hell yeah. And it was awesome. Honestly, the summer 2018 was probably like the most memorable summer of my life.
Right.
Just, every day, we just wake up, make music all day, just throw on beats, just vibe in this house and stuff. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on camera. We took a lot of psychedelics. If I'm not allowed to say that, we can cut that part out.
If you're in
But,
Denver, I think that's legal to do, right?
I think so, yeah.
Sounds legal enough.
Yeah, it's legal. But yeah, we took a lot of shrooms, a lot of tabs. Had a good old time that summer. Just really connected with ourselves. I really just found myself as a person, I feel like, that year, and I credit a lot of that to my homie A-Bob. And then that winter, 2018, there was a show that came up, Doobie's Dark Holiday Show at Newport Music Hall in Columbus, and his DJ / manager, DJ Highlight, had posted on his Instagram story something like, if we need Ohio openers or something for the show. So I shot him an email. I was like, yo, we're a group called Doer Gang. We're interested. Because, mind you, we had done some local shows. We had a manager at the time named Kasem who had booked some shows for us in the Toledo area.
Gotcha.
He flew Kasky out. We did a show with Kasky. We did a show with Dub Double X from EST. We drove down to Florida, to Orlando, and did a show in Tyler Yahweh's hometown in Orlando right after he had come off his first tour with Post Malone. In his like come up phase before he had signed to Epic Records and everything. So it was like kind of really cool, honestly, to see that intimate setting. There was only like 100 something people there, and so I ended up going and doing that Doobie show in December, and then it was 3 months later. It was March 2019. He announced the Highway to Hell tour, Doobie, and so I shot them an email again and said, "Yo, like, remember us? We're Doer Gang. We did that show with you guys back in December, but blah blah blah," because it went really well.
Right.
And they had emailed us. They remembered who we were, and they're like, "Yeah, like we definitely can get you guys on some shows." So we honestly paid to get on a couple of the shows for the tour. We paid for 4 dates. The original 4 that we had booked was Chicago, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Detroit. So did those 4, and then after the Detroit one, by that point, it was just going very well, and they invited us on a few more, and we ended up doing, I think, 12 or 13 cities. We did like Louisville, Atlanta, Charlotte, Philadelphia, Boston, Buffalo, Columbus.
Nice.
So I ended up doing like the whole tour with them. So we got this fucking GNC Sienna, a little van that we hollowed out the back of it, threw 2 couches in that bitch, put up some tapestry up on the ceiling and walls and shit, and just traveled the country with my best friends, bro. It was like shit that you like would dream about. I don't know. It was the best times of my life, bro. That was the best 2-3 weeks ever.
Right.
Looking back at it, that show was amazing. Just would go wake up in one city, like I remember Louisville, Kentucky. We met some tattoo artists at the show, and they're like, "Oh yeah, come through the shop. We'll give you guys all free tattoos, this and that. You can stay as late as you want." So we went over to the tattoo shop. We're all just in there drinking, smoking, having a good time, and he tatted us all up for free. That's where I got the 333 tattoo. It was funny, I got it at 3:33 in the morning. I had taken a Snapchat while I was getting that tattooed on me, and we were in Nelson County, Kentucky. So that was kind of weird.
Right.
And then went to sleep in the van at like 4 a.m. right after I had gotten that tattoo, and fucking woke up the next morning in Atlanta to them shaking me like, "Hey, we're in Atlanta, dude." Bobski and Hazard, but like, "Hey, here's a tab. Come on, like we're gonna explore the city for the day." So I took a tab as in. We're just walking around Atlanta all day. So, bro, so yeah, I don't know. I'll cut it off there because, like I said, I can go on and on for hours about these guys. So many memories. We did 2 more tours. We did the Black Sheep 4 tour with Kasky. Did a couple shows on that. We did the Faithfully Faded tour with Doobie. Did a handful of shows on that. We did a sold-out show with him at Express Live in front of like 2,000 people.
Nice.
So it's countless memories with those dudes, man. Those are my brothers forever. Love them. Shout out the whole Doer Gang fam.
You mentioned something that you don't hear a lot of rappers actually openly admit, that you pay to get on a couple of shows, which gets a really, kind of like the SoundCloud thing, it kind of gets a really negative connotation, but I believe, if I was in that position, you're looking at it like you're paying to get on because that's the exposure that opens you up to so many more fans of similar music that could then open opportunities, right?
Definitely. Like, I look at it as, like, I'll keep it real. I have no reason to lie or do anything. It was $300 a show for the first 4 that we booked.
Right.
So.
Now, were you guys selling merch or anything at a show like that? Or?
Bro, truthfully, barely. We paid like $100 or $200 to get 1,000 wristbands made, like little rubber wristbands, but we were just giving those out.
Right.
Just for, like you said, for the exposure. Just
for sure.
Giving them out to people for free. And we still have people to this day that will send me pictures years later.
That's awesome.
Like, "Hey, still got my wristband, like, from this tour, like, blah, blah, blah. Remember I met you at the Doobie show and this and that." So, like, it paid off, and it wasn't really, like, about the money, like, for us. Like, our buddies, Ruben and AY, were the Doer Game managers, and they're the ones that kind of funded everything. Paid for the shows, and Ruben paid $1,500 for the van up front to buy us that van, so we had something to travel in, and, like, it was definitely, you got to pay to play sometimes, and it was worth it because, like, some shows were not so good, but some shows were great. And, like, we were only supposed to do 4. We ended up doing, like, 12.
Nice.
And the Columbus show on that tour had, like, 1,500 people in Newport Music Hall. The next one at Express Live had, like, 2,000. So it was in our home state. And then, like, the Atlanta show, both of those were sold out. First one was 300-something people. The next one was 500-something people.
Right. So
it's just, you have these shows and these crowds that you're able to get in front of without having to do the promotion, do the work, do anything. You just have to show up and perform. Like, if you're an artist that is upcoming and you have the extra money and the means to do so, by all means, pay to get on. It has to make sense, though. Don't just pay to get on any kind of show, and don't get scammed. Be careful what you're investing in. Make sure it makes sense for you. But for us, it made all the sense, and it definitely paid off. It was very beneficial for us.
Absolutely. I love the candidness. So on the candid note, I do have a couple. I tried to do the Nardwuar thing, but nobody would give me that really juicy shit on you. So commend to your friends for not putting too much out. But how long have you been a connoisseur of Crocs?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I almost wore them today. That's the funny thing. A while. I like comfiness. Was never too big on like being flashy and wearing the crazy shit. I'm a sweatpant kind of guy, slides or Crocs, and just I don't know. I like to be comfortable, relax. So
no problem.
I find some new ways to style them. I put some chains on the one that we just did a show recently at the Medusa. I put some chains that you would wear, like some link chains on the Crocs, so my Crocs had chains on.
They have those little like things, like the little like icon looking
thing that
they
little
push in.
pin, yeah.
You should do like a little invasion one, or like do a
That's
whole,
crazy
do a whole
you
line
said
of
that,
Croc ones.
because I have a homie named Dylan Shipley. Check him out on Instagram, Ship Cartel. He does a lot of custom artwork and shit. He's dope. He hydro dips like shoes and shit and slides. So I was like, go to Five Below and just get a shit ton of slides, Crocs and slides and shit. I was more so thinking Crocs, and hydro dip the Crocs and then get some of the pins, get some like custom invasion pins made and like paint on them with a paintbrush like invasion, or like just make some sick invasion Crocs, like fucking start selling those.
At every show, you lose your shoe, we got them.
Lose it in the mosh pit, don't worry, Invasion's got you covered. Right?
Which takes us into a fun segue of, it seems to be you like to make music, but you love to perform from the outside. Is that an accurate depiction of you?
Honestly, yeah.
Because it seems like your energy when you're performing, from the clips that I've seen, you really come alive with the audience. Has it always been that way for you, or?
Yeah, since I was little, my mom's always told me that I just wanted to entertain people and like always liked being the center of attention. And like, I'm not saying that I like being the center of attention, because I don't by any means. I'm honestly very like introverted and this and that, but for some reason just being on the stage, it just brings out this comfort, like this comfortably like numb feeling for some reason, and just I don't know, it's really indescribable. It's hard to put into words, and I have like talks like this all the time with people about it, and just it's so different. I feel like just in command and in control, and I don't know. I'm confident in what I'm doing, and like I really believe in what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and so it just brings out like this different side of me, because I'm not always and haven't always been the most confident person. So it's like that safe space for me,
For sure.
Love the stage, love performing 100%.
If there's a new artist, what would be your top 3 pieces of advice for somebody to give a good performance?
First and foremost, I think it's just all about, like you said, energy. Mm-hmm. It's all about energy. It's you just gotta be yourself. Don't overthink it. Because a lot of artists will do that. They'll overthink, I don't want to mess up my lyrics, I don't want to do this or that. Right. It's just, if you just go out there and be yourself, make the music that you have made and that you're confident in, that you are proud of and ready to show other people, and just know that people are going to be supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always going to be those couple of haters and this and that, but for the most part, you go to a show, people are going to give you their attention, people are going to be supportive. They're there to see artists, they're there to see a show, so it's just go out there, be yourself, get good energy, and make sure you don't jump around too much and get super out of breath and can't finish your lines, because I'm guilty of that multiple times. Make sure you pace yourself. But awesome. Just have fun with it, man. It's about having fun, really.
Undoubtedly, the worst performance I've ever seen was a local artist. We won't put them all the way out there, but they faced the back of the stage for 90% of the show with their back to the crowd, which you're like, everybody's here to see performance. You kind of got to interact with people a little bit, But from the clips I've seen, you definitely know how to get the attention, keep the attention, and if it's running out of breath at the end of the song is the problem, you just got to run laps before.
Facts. Also, honestly, credit that to the Doer Gang homies as well. My buddy A-Bob, like I said, we just would spend a lot of time watching documentaries and shit of like the Doors with like Jim Morrison and just other shit, and we would listen to a lot of Pink Floyd, and just we're and watched documentaries of Elvis Presley and just a couple others. So just got really tapped in and tuned in, especially when you're on the psychedelics and shit. Like you feel like you can actually like
right, feel like you're there.
You feel like you're there and soaking in the information a lot better, and like it resonates in you a lot deeper. But so we just kind of just studied these guys that were really great at crowd control and just at compelling an audience and like capturing attention and like really creating that energy and the flow. And like I look up to artists like XXXTentacion, like may he rest in peace. He's one of my favorite performers ever. So and like MGK, local Cleveland guy, he's one of my all-time favorite performers. So it's like seeing these dudes perform, you know, and like how hard they go and the energy they bring, and just gives me a good blueprint to go by, and then to just put my own little twists and things on it and try to make it my own thing.
Speaking of little twists, what's it like to get suplexed on stage?
Fucking louds, man. Oh, man.
Tell us the story. What do we need to know?
We were at the Odeon for 90s night, and I think the week or the meeting before, we meet every Wednesday at the show. So a few days prior, we were talking about, I was like, yo, we gotta open the pit, and I'm gonna get like up on your shoulders and like have someone else too, and like I'll be like up on your guys' shoulders and you guys hold me up, and like everybody else will be moshing around me, so I'll just be like up above everyone and I'll just keep rapping and shit. And he's like, oh yeah. But then I don't know what happened on his end, because I wasn't even down in the crowd. I was like sitting on the edge of the stage, and then I start standing up, and next thing you know, he like yokes me up. I get lifted in the air, so I keep going with it. I'm literally still rapping, so I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm off my feet at this point. This wouldn't be the first time that he's just randomly lifted me up. He did it at Doerfest too. And he lost his footing, I guess, when he stepped backwards. I tripped over some cords or shit by the speaker and fell straight backwards and like straight suplex my ass, Kurt Angle style. There's a video of it on my Instagram. Go check it out. That shit's hilarious.
And that kind of takes you back to the 90s of, WWF wrestling. So
loved that shit.
That sounds like it goes with the night.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do we got in here before we move into, that's the one I wanted to get to, is you have your son's initials tattooed on your forehead. What's it like being a rap dad?
I love it. Love it. It's definitely, it's funny. A lot of people from the outside kind of make their judgment on it, but I kind of tune it all out. I think that's a reason why I have gotten like the tattoos and put them where I put them and stuff, because I like to see who's more like looking at me and like focused on me as a person, as opposed to like worried about those things. And if you're worried about my appearance and that's like what you're concerned about, then you're not somebody that I would care to get to know. So it's been fucking, as far as being a rap dad though, it's been awesome. My son is my greatest blessing. He's been a life changer for me. It's been the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I wake up to him every day, his smile, and he can start to talk now, so he'll look at me with a big smile, say dad and stuff, and it melts my heart for real. That kid is my world. But it's motivating for real, because now I'm not just doing it for me. I have him. I'm doing it for a greater cause, and I want to put food on the plate for my family now. And so I feel like I'm not like in it for the I want the attention and the fame and the this and the that. I just want to be able to take the music and take what I'm doing and take the whole invasion movement and just make it profitable and just be able to be comfortable and just be able to feed my son and not have to have him worry and just live.
So we're in the back half of your interview. I don't think it's been too killer yet. I do like to do two segments with everybody. One's called name dropping, and the other with musicians is discography discussions. Which one do you want to hit first?
Or me too?
What's that?
Or me too?
Either or, you choose whichever one.
Let's go name dropping. You might have already dropped a couple of these names, but the idea with name dropping is I'm going to say a name that we know that you're somehow attached to, and you kind of let us know how you met them, what they do, and why people should know more about them.
Right.
This is going to be a hard one for you since you definitely don't like hyping up all your buddies. Let's go with, I just mentioned him. What can you tell us about Curly Chuck?
Curly Chuck, man. Crazy lyricist. Probably the best lyricist in Cleveland.
Undoubtedly.
If you're into real rap and lyrics and just raw hip-hop, you have to check out Curly Chuck. Like, if you're from Cleveland and you don't know who Curly Chuck is and you listen to hip hop, there's some kind of issue there. Gotta get hip to Curly Chuck.
And what would be your most fond, whether if it's not the first time that you met him, what's your most fond Curly Chuck memory?
Honestly, I don't know if it's the most fun because we have so many, to be honest, but a funny one that always sticks out is the first time I did ever meet him. I was already familiar with his music ahead of time, and I was a fan of his music. And me and my buddy Nubis from Doer Gang, we were pulling up to the old Invasion studio in Warrensville for the first time. I think it was for Adi's birthday party, and this was the first night we met all of them. But me and Nubis were in the car the way there, like, oh, I hope Chuck's there. Like, oh yeah, I'm trying to meet Chuck. I hope he's there. We pull up to the, we hit up Adi, like, yo, we're here. He's like, all right, come to the back door, I'll let you in. Adi comes to the back door and opens it, and Chuck's literally just sitting there, like, got his arm on Adi's shoulder. He's like, hey. Me and Nubis just looked at each other like, yeah, Chuck's here. So that was pretty funny, but just, yeah, so many. All the performances we do together and just bunch of shit, man. That's my brother.
Let's go. You just mentioned him. Number 2, I think we typically do about 3. So who is Adi Ray? For somebody that has never heard his music, never heard of him.
Adi Ray, man. What can I not say about Adi Ray? That man really changed my life and put me in a great position. He is an artist, he's a producer, he's an engineer, he's a CEO, he's a boss, he's my brother, he's head honcho of Invasion Records, founding father of Invasion Records, and you know, the reason that we're all able to record at Invasion Studios, and the reason that we're all members of Invasion Records doing, you know, what we're doing together as a unit, and, you know, he made it all happen. That's the bro.
Absolutely. The last one, I'm going to throw a wild card. You can name drop anybody you want that you think needs more recognition, whether music, not music, whatever you want to go. So much harder when you got to come up with the person yourself, isn't it?
I know. So I'm trying to.
Like, damn, I know about all these talented people. How do I narrow it to one right now?
Since this is a wild card and I am having a little bit of trouble thinking about it, and I don't want to just like throw out any like friend of mine and then have another friend be offended or something, I'm gonna throw out somebody that I don't really know all too personally, but that I have a lot of respect for.
Well played.
That's Connor Michael Smith.
He's the fiddle, and he does like every music thing, right?
He plays the he plays the violin. He's an artist himself. He was part of a band. I'm drawing a blank. I believe it's called In Real Life.
Something like that, yeah.
Something along those lines. I apologize if I got that wrong, Connor. But he performed at that 90s night at the Odeon, but he was like the headliner. He had the last set of the night. And I feel like the show was getting like pushed and delayed or something. I don't know what it was, but he ends up not performing till like 11 o'clock. And by that time, a large portion of the crowd had been gone. And he, you know, someone that works hard, artist that, you know, he sold a lot of tickets, was, you know, waiting all night to perform and stuff. Definitely probably didn't go exactly as planned, but he honestly put on such a great performance. Like, he had my girl getting emotional and shit multiple times throughout it because he was just so genuine and sincere and just had multiple talks with the crowd and was just like very real and just very just open and just like himself and just like no ego whatsoever, just completely just vulnerable and just like showed the complete like his side of him, and just it was awesome. It was admirable to see, and a lot of respect for that. And he's definitely a great artist in the city that a lot of people should check out, and definitely see him doing some very big things. He's young, got a very bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, after the Curly Chuck song, I looked him up a little bit, and everything I've seen that he does, he goes as hard as he can with everything.
Fire. He's got this, because he raps too. He does it all. He's got this music video where he's on a roof. He's wearing like a ski mask and shit, and he's rapping over I believe a Joyner Lucas beat. And I think it's the Lucky You beat, and he kills it. Great video. I think it's at like 2 million views or something like that. So
nice.
Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Connor Michael Smith, great artist.
Absolutely. Let's do a little bit of discography discussion. After all, you are a musician, and to me, a song is one thing, and then once you could hear the the behind the scenes of it, or if there's a perspective of a song that like somebody might have missed, it becomes so much better to me. Is why this has become. Originally, the show was supposed to be like a balance of entertainers, entrepreneurs, and educators. And
Right.
there's so many more musicians that are ready to tell their story, and it's so amazing to see how all of you guys are the same but different. Like there's a lot of archetypes. So we'll see if your processes and everything fit with the same. I want to name a couple different songs of yours, and I want you to kind of give me the behind the scenes of who produced it, if there's any notable lines in there, anything we might have missed as just the common listener.
Right.
Let's go with. Might as well go with. I believe Diesel's probably been your most successful. It looks like, right?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about your song Diesel?
So Diesel, my buddies had just moved out. It was my buddies Hazzy and OAO. They just came out and moved to an apartment in Northeast Ohio. So we moved everything into the apartment, and they set up a little home studio. And that was the first night that they spent in the apartment. I just went over to go check out the spot. We're like, fuck it, let's record. So we just recorded ourselves on Pro Tools. Took it to Adi, I think the following week, and had him mix and master it, and then uploaded it through DistroKit and had it go to all platforms. And that's around that time is when the whole virus shit hit, and that's when I got really into the marketing and shit. So that's when I kind of taught myself how to do Facebook and Instagram ads. I bought a couple programs that taught you how to do it, so I learned that and Google Ads. Then I had run some Facebook IG ads for Diesel. I ran a download campaign and a link like smart link campaign that just took you to the Spotify link and pushed it directly to people that had Spotify as like a like or interest on Facebook.
Right.
And it was able to, within the first week, catch the Discover Weekly and Release Radar from getting so many saves and streams, and then just ran up organically from there. Now I think it's about to hit 100K, so like 98K or something like that.
Yeah, you're at just short of 98. Well, there's a Sunoco station as the cover. Where's that Sunoco station?
Truthfully, no idea, bro.
No idea?
I typed in diesel gas on Google Images, scrolled super far so it wasn't one of the top ones, and then just edited the picture and threw some bullshit. So I made the cover myself for that, but I honestly have no idea where that's at.
That's an even better story than if you told me the exact location of it. And then I don't think that there's a video for that one, or have I just not found that?
Nah, no video for it.
So you have all that audio success. You didn't think to kind of partner it up with the video, or just didn't fit into the time frame?
Yeah, I think just never ended up making the time for it, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that. Let's move on to, I believe the first song of yours that I ever heard was Rage. So tell us more about Rage.
Rage was recorded at the New Invasion Studios in Northfield.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, we have a group chat, and I hit the group chat, so who wants to go cook up today? I was baby free for the day. My son had a babysitter, or was out with mom or doing something, to where I had the day to myself, and so I was like, yo, like, who wants to go record? Chuck had responded immediately. He was like, yo, I'm down. So he pulled up. We just started vibing out, got just smoking, chilling. I ate a little stem and cab guy to feel the vibe out, I do that for most performances and when I'm recording, etc. Like anything like real music, like getting into it like that for an event or something, I like to be on shrooms for some reason. It's comforting.
Nothing wrong with it, but comfort.
Only a microdose, so I don't like to get super like faced or anything like that, because then don't want to like be just gone and not able to perform or do what I'm supposed to be doing. But just a little tiny stem cap guy to microdose, right, and just be one with myself, keep me centered. I get down like that. But so he came to the studio, we were just vibing, and he played the beat, produced by Risley, and I had some. I work at Amazon at a fulfillment center. Okay. So I have a lot of downtime. I just scan shit at a fucking station all day. Just a pod rolls up, I scan it, and then it rolls away. So I have like downtime between the pods, and I'll just sit there and write music in my journal. And Chuck has Rage tattooed above his eyebrow, and I remembered I had written some lyrics that had it was a hook originally, which ended up being the hook for Rage. And I showed him that and rapped it along to the beat. And he said, "Oh yeah, it's like that's hard. Go record that." So made the hook at first, and then we're like decided to layer it up. So he threw his layers on it, so we were like both on the hook, like with multiple layers, just and both threw our verses on it. Adi pulled up, I think, and mixed it either that same day or no, it was a few days later, but it got mixed like that same week, and then uploaded it and got the cover art was a picture of me and Chuck in Pittsburgh. We went to a Freshie concert out there with him and NASCAR Aloe, and just took a picture of me and him. Adi had sent it off to one of his boys, got a cover art made for it. The dude sent the art back, we uploaded it, and now it's probably one of my favorite songs to perform.
Nice. Who's Ryan Spots?
Ryan Spots.
He's got writing credit on that song.
Really? I have no idea who Ryan Spots is.
Well, now you know. Look into that after you leave here.
Yeah, that is definitely strange, because only people in the studio at the time were definitely me and Chuck, but I'm going to find out who you are, Ryan Spots.
Well, I'm glad Colin can help. Could let you know about that type of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Spots.
And if there was only one song, if somebody listened to this interview, that they were going to go to Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud to check you out, if there was one song to kind of just say, this is who I am, what is it? And why?
There's a song called Defeated.
Okay.
It's off EP of mine called Era Enigma. It's a 6-track EP that I dropped at the end of 2019, top of 2020. And it's just very insightful to kind of what I'm trying to do in life and what my goals are and what I envision my life being and stuff. I say in the hook, I said, I'm gonna keep it real, trying to get my mom a crib, pay the bills, let her chill, and we all good. Now I'm feeling like an addict trying to build up to the attic when I know the sky's the limit and we all should. Just vibe for a minute, I'll be feeling, and I got a funny feeling everything will be all good, so we just give thanks, well aware that I might not wake, live it up like we all should. So I feel like it's just motivational and giving insight so that I'm trying to give my mom a better life and provide for my family, and yeah, it's a raw, genuine song.
Awesome. You just solidified that we don't have to do the lyric test segment that we do on a couple people. I did trick Curly Chuck on a few of his. I kind of skipped around and kind of did that remember the Ludacris thing where they had the dude with, like, the really, really white voice try to like say the rap songs? Completely fucked up. But I do hear the audience say do it. So what do we have in here? Let's go. What can we find that isn't right on the top of your brain? Let's go deep into the playlists. So I'm going to play a quick snippet, stop it, and you got to tell me what the next line or two is.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what song it is off the first sounds?
The thing about this song is I'm a feature on that song.
Oh, do you not know your
So,
feature verse?
I do. It's at the end of the song. This isn't one of my songs, is it?
You're featured on it.
On this one?
Yeah. I'm teaching this man a lot about his career today. Yeah, this comes up under...
What is this called?
Or do I have something playing in the background?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, that does not sound familiar.
I was gonna say, there we go. That's how we trick them. Let's actually push the right buttons.
So this is a feature.
Well, actually, let's run that back. That means that you thought that you were on the back of that song that we were just listening to.
I was confused. I was like, the beat didn't sound familiar. I know this beat. This is Loner with Michael Plyn.
Right.
I know this one. Yeah, it's towards the very end of the song. Got colder. Just me, my dog, 4-5, got that smoke down, I'm a loner. Remember them conversations that we had on the phone, and I know you could not forget. And showing me constellations in the back of my home that you gave me some dirty in. I trusted you, showed you with my home, brought you into the fold. How the fuck could you do this shit? I trusted you, gave you my soul, brought you into the fold. How the fuck could you do this shit?
The man knows his stuff. Even if you try to trick him with a song that isn't his and everything else. But
I haven't heard that in a minute either. I recorded that like a year ago.
And one thing I almost always try to remember to ask somebody that as soon as I make a video or anything for any of my clients, I'm ready to put it out right away. And it's amazing to me how musicians have this like superhero power of you have some gold on your hard drive and you're like, I don't think I'm gonna put that out yet. How do you know when a song's ready to put out?
Truthfully, speaking for myself, and it shouldn't hopefully be speaking for other artists if they like know how to correctly release music. You have to have a budget behind a release to get it out to the right amount of years. You can have the best song in the world, but if you just drop it and put nothing behind it, no promo, no marketing, no nothing, and just expect it to go, it's gonna fall in the graveyard with the other thousands and thousands of songs that get uploaded to the internet every day.
Right.
So it's just about just, I don't know, doing shit the right way. Yeah.
that works. The last thing I want to cover before we get out of here, we're at about an hour where I'd like to try to keep them at. You're a heavily tattooed man. When did you start getting tattoos?
When I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the deciding factor for a face tattoo? The first one was the 333?
Yeah. I think I was on the tour at the time, the Doobie tour, and I was really drunk. And a guy offered free tattoos, and I was just on tour, fucking living like a rock star. And just was like, this is my life. This is what I'm gonna do with my life. I don't care what people think.
Right.
I've always enjoyed tattoos and how they looked. I always, even if music wasn't the route, I always knew that I wanted to be heavily tattooed, and like I'm nowhere near done. I just, comes down to a budget too. Gotta
you're
pay
a young
for it,
dude too. You can't run out of skin before too long.
Right. So just, it was a motivating factor, if anything. Because my very first tattoo was the rose on the back of my hand and lion. I got it at the same time. So I put the hand tat first, just kind of the stigma of if you have like tattoos on your hands or face, you can't get like corporate jobs, etc.
Right.
So when I was 18, I tattooed the back of my hand just as a like commitment to myself that this is what I was going to do with my life and it's what I wanted. And then kind of did the same thing with the face tats. And then I have the invasion symbol right here, and then my son's initials on my forehead. I think I'm going to slow down for a little bit. The face ones, my mom's not thrilled about it. Every time I come home, the new one, she's absolutely pissed. I'm sorry, Mom. I love you so much. No more for a little bit.
So does she think the arm ones are okay, but draws the line at the
face?
face?
Yeah, no, she has tattoos herself. She's very supportive of tattoos. She likes tattoos a lot. She's just doesn't want them on my face. She's anywhere but the face. But I'm proud of my son who wanted to wear it proudly, and I do.
And the Sun one, that was done by a friend of the show, Scuff Mixon, right?
Yeah. Shout out Scuff. Went to his house and got it done, and my girl got No More Bad Days tattooed on her forearm, which is actually a Scuff lyric. He has a song called Bad Days. So he was able to tattoo that on her. We were listening to the song as he was tattooing it, which was pretty cool, and gave me the tattoo for my son's initials, and definitely a really awesome moment that I'll always remember.
That right there is music marketing. If you like the song, hurry up, let me tattoo the words on it for you. Mm-hmm. No autograph, but what better personalized autograph than, got the song lyrics there.
Right.
Are there any tattoos that you have got that you think are going to get a cover-up on? Or are you sticking with all the ones that you got till the end?
No, I like what I got, to be honest. I really don't have all too many besides the sleeve. I just got like the rose, the lion, UFO, anarchy symbol, a Buddha smoking a joint, the Guardian of Transportation that's on the I-90 bridge downtown, my great-grandfather's initials, and he was Irish, so a little shamrock, fear God. And, yeah.
What's the, you got Ohio back here?
Yeah, the state of Ohio outline, and my last name's Perron, so a P inside of it, and then it's also a tribute tattoo. I had a friend named Punky. Well, her nickname was Punky, her name's Danielle. She had passed away, and she had the same Ohio outline tattoo in the same spot behind her ear. So it's kind of like a double meaning tattoo.
And I don't think I asked this before. A lot of people come up with a stage name, but you seem to just embrace the full real name. Mm-hmm. What was the motive behind using your name instead of coming up with, kind of that new persona?
Truthfully, just nothing sounding right, like when I was trying to make a name.
Right.
Because really how it came about was my buddy Luke. I moved into an apartment with him when I was 18, and he's been a wrestler his whole life. So I convinced him to get into fighting if I would drop a song on SoundCloud. So like we both motivated each other to like chase each other's dream. He ended up going on to become like the number 2 flyweight in the state of Ohio.
Nice.
Like won a belt and shit for the amateur. Like, he did his thing with MMA. He still is, but he's going through some injuries at the moment. But we just were sitting there trying to think of a name, and everything just sounded just like cheesy and just weird.
Right.
And I was like, it doesn't sound genuine. I don't know. I was like, I just want people to know me. I don't want to like feel like I'm hiding behind a persona or a name. I just want to be myself, and just, I feel like people will just resonate with that. I make music that I enjoy, so if I enjoy it, there's got to be some other people that think the way I think, and like the same things I like. There's billions of people in the world, and that's the beauty of music, is someone's favorite song is somebody's least favorite song, and someone's least favorite song is someone's favorite song. So I'm just gonna be myself, stick to my moniker of just Nelson Perron. For those who don't know, it's pronounced Perron. A lot of people pronounce it wrong. Perron. It's Perron. Like if you put a pear in the bag, or like something, I don't know. You put a pear on, like no, because that fucks it up, because then they're saying on. It's not on. It's in. Perron.
It sounds like you should put out at least like either a video or a song, kind of like all the different ways you could think of to make Remember Perron.
I've said that, actually. We have someone that helps with management on Invasion. Her name's Meep. We were just having a conversation about that. I was like, so many people pronounce my name wrong. She's like, my last name is a pain in the ass to pronounce. I was like, dude, so many people get mine wrong. I'm about to make a song that just teaches people how to pronounce it. She's like, yeah, I second that. That's a great idea.
But between that one and the Curly Chuck and Your Kids in the video, I think you ran with those two, and you got it in the bag.
Yes, sir.
What did I not ask you that you think, or was there anything you thought I was going to ask you about that I didn't, or anything that we left out?
Not that I can think of off the top.
Do we have any new projects on the horizon, or anything that we want to cement, get it out in the world so that you have to do it now?
Yeah. I got a little, and it's nothing like, it's not going to be like a super bit. It's only like 3 songs, to be honest. And one of them, I believe we're just going to put Rage on it just to bring traction to it. But I think me and Chuck are going to drop a little 3-song EP.
Nice. Called
Mosh Pit Music Volume 1. And so there'll be 3 tracks on it, Rage being track number 3, and then we'll drop Volume 2 with 3 more tracks, a few months following, and just keep that kind of little trend going with the Mosh Pit music of just little duo songs, me and him. Got that. We got, as far as, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this yet and announce this yet. Should I just do it anyways and be the first to announce it?
I think so, because if what's the worst case scenario? We got to go over to Invasion Studios and do another interview with Adi to get full approval or something. What's the worst?
Yeah, we'll run it by the boss, but like, we do have an album coming out.
Another one of those collaboration albums?
Yeah, The Invasion Volume 3.
Nice.
Will be coming out. We don't have an exact release date for it yet.
You think this year, next year?
This year, back half of this year.
Nice.
Probably, we're thinking around Halloween time. Not 100 on that yet, so don't quote me, but it's on the way. And we have all the songs recorded and the track list pretty much made up. And
on the way is all we need. We don't need exact dates. We'll let the real guys actually put the real dates.
Yeah.
Let everybody know how to find you online before we get out of here.
All my socials are just at Nelson Perron, NELSON PERRON, at Nelson Perron on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Snapchat, it's Nelson Perron 7, but I don't really use that for just music promo. But if you got Snapchat and you're into hearing, like, I play a lot of leaked and like unreleased songs in my car and shit, I'll throw those in the story. So if you want some snippets of that, add me on Snapchat.
Nice. And now that you've gone through the process, who's somebody that you know that would be another good person to sit in that chair?
Anybody from Invasion, for real. You gotta get to know the rest of the guys. You can get Stoney up here if you haven't talked to Stoney yet.
Stoney's not been on the list yet.
Stoney would definitely be a great one. Our DJ, Davs. Darian. We got Louds and Beamer. Any of the guys, really. I would tap in with all of them and see who you can get up here. They all got some nice stories
right here
to
we
tell.
got Adi Ray Creates. We want to get all the artists on. So we're on top of that. I'm glad we're already putting in the work of what you said we got to work on.
See how that works? Universe.
And that's really the key of podcasting, though. It's kind of like we talked before we started. Like, I'm essentially right now that little spider where, this was one of your first real interviews. I got Adi's first real interview. I don't know anybody that has more interviews with Curly Chuck than Colin's Conversation. So, like,
Right.
if you're into any of you, we've then created the web of as soon as you're like, oh, well, check this out. Oh, I know that guy, too. Because there's, like you said earlier, there's so much talent in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Why not promote all of it?
Right.
There's enough for everybody to eat. That's the thing that like so many people don't realize, and everybody's so worried about like protecting their part of the play. Like there's so much room for everyone to grow and just
And when you
be together.
spend all your energy trying to protect what you thought was a big pile, you don't realize that over here their big pile is really here instead of here.
Mhm.
You got to connect and try new things, and
Right.
then next thing you're like, how did I just make that much doing that? You started off paying for shows, and then you're getting paid an astronomical amount of money to do a show one day.
Mhm.
It's all progression.
I think that's what's so beautiful about Invasion as a whole, is I think we're all just so disconnected from just like our personal shit. Like we all just see the bigger picture of
Right.
things and like see where this can grow as a team, and how moving as a team and just makes everything easier on everyone, and just it's just made everyone's lives so much easier. And just Invasion coming together, we all signed officially. Like we've been together for a while, like since like last year, and like I met them in end of 2019, beginning of 2020, but we all officially signed on paper in March. So since then, from March till now, I feel like it's just we've already just seen so much progression, and just we're all kind of seeing what we can really do with it, and it's just bigger than ourselves, and so everyone's selfless and knows their role and plays their part, and just it's like a well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine. Awesome, my man. I appreciate you coming down, and it's time to get editing on all this footage. Hopefully we actually got good recording. The last two things that I did, oh my god. Like, it's almost the same setup every trip, and every time there's always something that goes wrong. That's why there's always two cameras, because one of them fucks something up inevitably.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.